I
That's
always
pretty good timing.
yeah, it's close. It's close. I need to change our countdown timer to like be just short of 2 minutes so our song doesn't loop. Hi, Paul.
Hello.
Hello, Ecamm fam. We're back for another edition of Office Hours, which is totally your time. You have an hour with Paul and I to be silly and to hear updates and to ask whatever questions you have about anything. It could be about us. It could be about upcoming events. It could be very specific Ecamm questions. There's no rules. The moderator is in the stream. The rules are up. The rules are off. But do put a queue so that we can make sure we don't miss anything. Sometimes it gets busy. Usually we can see most of it. But yeah, it's been a fun, exciting week. I'm cleaning up here in the office space. I'll take a few photos to post on the Ecamm Instagram account, but there are two giant boxes, in case you feel this way, everyone watching, there are two big boxes of just wires, cables, assorted cables, and Ken keeps telling me to just leave them, but I want to label them and like put and wrap them correctly, but I don't even know necessarily what all of them are. So if you're in that if you're in that space, then I see you and I feel you and feel your pain.
There's an expert coming to your location next month.
I know. It's so funny. I think I asked him to do it last time, and then Doc and I got like distracted with all kinds of other stuff and just didn't get around to it. But yeah, two giant boxes of cables. Everything else is pretty well organized though, so we're doing pretty well. All right, I'm gonna swing into Martin was kind enough to see. This is our placeholder.
Nice.
Martin was kind enough to create these amazing scenes for us. Let me just. All right. Richie wants to know, how do I decide whether or not I do my mushroom background? My mushroom background is at home, actually. So that's my home office versus here in the studio. I'm about 5 minutes from my house here in the Amesbury studio. So it just depends on whether or not I'm home. And I've moved everything around a ton in that at-home space. I'm feeling pretty good about it. The only thing I'm still missing is I finally checked the box of getting myself up as an Amazon influencer, and I've been creating and recording shoppable videos, which has been super fun. But I don't have a good like overhead shot. I have all the stuff. I just haven't set it up correctly like on my desk. So that's my next thing to tackle, but that's the mushroom space. It's my at-home space, which is
It'll get there.
A great question. It'll get there. It'll get there eventually. It'll get there. Yes, Mark, the cable spaghetti. It's some of the cables are like very specific to things I don't at all know.
I think we all go through that. I had a box and it was like, I was looking at it and I thought, I'll just take this over to the storage place and I'll deal with it later. It's like,
yeah.
Sooner or later, I'm going to have to go through it.
Yeah. Oh, we have some great questions coming in. Definitely drop your questions in. We're happy to answer anything and everything within reason if we're able to. Otherwise, we'll punt it across. But Paul asks, this is a great question. Hey, Paul. Hey, other Paul. Other Paul asks, does Ecamm have any plans to make available templates, industry-specific templates? Not necessarily like industry-specific templates, just because it's not our skill set by any means. But we, Ken and Glenn have been, for a very long time, has been on the list of doing layouts so that there is like a kind of just like a basic set to get you started. Because I know that when you're brand new to Ecamm, and even if you've been at it for a while, sometimes you just stare at just the like blank black screen or the camera, and it's difficult to know exactly where to start. So yes, that level of templates on the way. But there are a lot of people that create some really incredible templates and graphics, including this. So this one here was created by Martin, and you can grab this one if you want. Not this specific one. Oops, wrong one. Oh no, wrong one. Leap. Oh, my things are mislabeled. That sounds right. That sounds right for me. All my things are mislabeled. Darn it. This is what happens. See, Martin made it all nice and neat for me, and I relabeled things, and now it's good. I doubled it up. Leap and Merch took over. All right. Well, it is in the description where you can grab the stream profile. He's got a ton of them. And I know that was the other question that someone was asking. Let me just shoot back over here. No, we're just going to play with all these scenes today. See, this is the fun of scenes. All right. So Rich wanted to know whether or not how Martin adds the 3D to the overlay. I can't actually answer that one. I don't know how he does that.
I know he's done, he's done several videos where he's kind of talked about the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know his specifics. It has been kind of mind blowing.
Yeah. And
so what he's done.
It's in the description. I apologize that I failed here at setting it up in advance.
I posted it in the comments.
Good. Here, let's swing on over. Yeah, so he's got this amazing store here. So it's streamprofiles.sellfy.store, and you can get these templates. So these are just templates, and he customized this one specifically for us. But the ones that you grab from his store are super. You just drop your own text and your own logos, and you can make changes to the color. But it gives a lot of this. And I think he's also in the chat right now. So Martin, if you're still around, I saw your name pop up earlier. Thank you. And also maybe you can answer some of your wizardry because it is pretty awesome. Hey, we have someone asking about camp. How's it going? All right, here's my camp over here. If it's labeled correctly,
this one? I posted.
Yeah, we did it. We did it. All right, wait, hang on. So camp is officially scheduled, but tickets are not yet open. So if you're wondering about camp, Creator Camp is our in-person event. You can go to ecamm.com/camp, which Paul dropped in the link there in the comments. Tickets go on sale in 41 days, 19 hours. We'll just keep this countdown up as we talk. 41 more days until tickets go on sale. They're limited. They're super limited. So we're intentionally keeping this event small because we want it to feel very special, and we want to be able to really delight everyone that comes. So forgive us for the small numbers. Keep this website open. We are going to, we will, I promise, because I know that some of you here in the chat were there last year. So thank you to that. We will definitely be opening it up to last year's attendees first so that people can grab a chance to come back, and then everyone else. So yeah, coming soon. ecamm.com/camp. The reason why we're waiting is that tickets for LEAP are available now. So our virtual event. So we do a virtual event and we do an in-person event. LEAP this year we're leaping into tools and tactics. This is really big picture, thinking about your systems, what tools you're using, what gear you're using. Is it the right stuff? Does your process work correctly? So we've got some really great speakers. We have 3 jam-packed days of just incredible content. So, and it's free. It's free. So don't say no to this because that would be ridiculous. Please swing on over. Leap.ecamm.com is where you can grab your tickets for this. We do sell a replay pass, so if you can't attend the live events, you are going to want to grab that, which includes a guidebook to help you kind of get all of the notes and content in advance. But yeah, those are the upcoming events. All right, let me swing back over here to my questions area. All right, great questions coming in. All right, Mark wants to know how my Ethernet planning at home is coming along. So for those of you who don't keep up with me, I live in a house that was built in the 1740s, I think is the specific decade. So slowly is the answer, Mark, because it requires a lot of, it's not as easy as just moving cables around, And we have I will say, and I know Mark, you specifically are not a Wi-Fi guy because you know a lot about the privacy and security sides of it, but we do have really fantastic Wi-Fi at home, significantly better than what I have here in the office. So it hasn't been a huge issue for me at home when I'm streaming and for what I'm doing. So it's a little bit deprioritized for other projects we're working on. But yeah, it's a great question. Basic layouts. I think basic layouts would be really helpful for everyone. All right, yeah. So there, Jeremy, who is also another incredible Ecamm trainer. So hey to Jeremy, says 3 gradients, highlights, and shadows. Yeah. Design wizardry.
The magic.
Hey, Michelle, how's it going? Doc's on. Hey, Doc. So Doc says there's no real 3D. Yeah, exactly. Layers and opacity. Yeah, it's very smart. And Martin's done a really great job with these. There are, if we swing over actually here, I keep covering Paul's face with those. So this is if you need help and you want to like look up and learn more about how to use Ecamm or some of just the general kind of FAQs, you can always swing over to support.ecamm.com. This is what it looks like, right? And if you need help from the support team, you could just click this little orange icon here in the bottom, and that immediately connects you with the support team. But
those articles are kind of cool because if you're looking for if you're having a problem with overlays and you want to understand overlays more or something like that, just go into that little box and type the word overlay, and you're going to get a bunch of support articles on overlays or camera switcher or whatever. And in those articles will be videos in many cases that link to videos that kind of walk you through if you want to see a visual representation. So anytime Ecamm comes out with new features and stuff, we're busily for several weeks creating videos and getting things ready so that when the release comes out, we have the support documents either new to support it or updated from previous versions so that they're ready to go. So we always create videos for everything that we do. And if there's something that we haven't got that you want to see, let us know.
Let us know. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we open any like ideas and questions you have about what videos we might be missing or what we should do next. But I just searched graphics in case you missed it or were wondering here in support.ecamm.com, typed in graphics. And this page called graphics packages and overlays, this is where you can come to see like ones that we have vetted and approved by, either influencers we work with or internal team members. So these ones, similar to Martin's, you could just click right through and be able to purchase or grab extra graphics and cool packages. So there's a bunch of them in here. I think I have to add Martin's into here actually, but Marshall has a couple of examples. There's one called E-Overlays, Let's Get Live, which is Doc and Diana, Bradley, who we know. This one's actually a newer one that I just added in. This company called Scoreboard. They actually will pull in live like information from scoreboards at like college events and sporting events. So if you're in the sports world, this is kind of a cool, and it works all through widget overlays. So it's super easy to be able to use. But
yeah, overlays.uno in there too?
I don't think it is. I have to update this now that I'm looking at it. But yeah, we should make a note to. So overlays.uno is another great one, and it works really seamlessly with Ecamm.
Yeah. They have a lot of, they have sports related stuff. They have weather related stuff. They have news related. They have lots of stuff in there. And the cool thing with the Uno ones are they're interactive. So you can set it up on your screen, but you can give control to it to somebody else that they can go through while you're streaming and do updates and different things as necessary. You could even put an outline of your talk, and you can either switch through it or have somebody else move through the topics as you're talking, and it's live and dynamic. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really neat, and they're a great team. They're really responsive, and so if there's
and
ideas,
it's currently free.
Yeah, exactly. They've been using a bunch of your feedback to be able to really kind of curate and make their product even better. So we appreciate that. Paul wants to know the ticket cost for Creator Camp. We haven't finalized that yet, actually, Paul. So I don't have that information quite yet, but you will know in about 41 days.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. It is so for anyone that hasn't been to Creator Camp, it's an all-inclusive event. So, I guess I shouldn't say it's completely all-inclusive. You cover your travel costs and your hotel costs to get out there, but it does include like all of your meals, and we have some like fun excursions that we go on, and then obviously all the workshops and giveaways and swag bags and all of that stuff. So it is a little bit of a higher end event, but we do try to keep the cost pretty reasonable because we know it's important for you all to be here. But yeah, let us know. Awesome wood things. I was cleaning out the studio today and I found a couple of your stickers because, I can't quite reach it. Let me see. Matt designed this awesome wood thing for our studio, and I've had it on the shelf in the background. But yeah, I totally almost accidentally threw out a couple of the stickers you had in the box. So I'm glad I caught those and hung on to them. It was great to be able to see it. Martin says it's a secret, the 3D stuff. Yeah, Martin's got to stop designing so that he can actually get around to creating some of those videos. I love it. All done with shapes and shadows. Yeah, Anna. So this is all Martin. This is all Martin's genius. I was playing around with it earlier. It's pretty amazing. He's got like quite a lot of really cool, transitions. It looks great. So huge thank you to that. when I'm on with what a fun look. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I'm glad that you think so. Sometimes I think sometimes I feel a little all over the place, but I'm feeling really good about so it's been, I've been with the Ecamm team since July of 2019, and I had no at all video experience or live streaming experience prior to joining the team. So it's been like a really nice experience from start to finish, really just getting to feel kind of more comfortable in the space and learning the gear and the tech and figuring kind of it all out. There's still, even in this studio space, there's a lot more like options of stuff we could do. We have this really cool, just off to the side here, wooden wall that Doc was so kind to put together for us that has our Ecamm fam like neon light on it. And I'm like, oh, that'd be a cool There's some cool backgrounds. I should figure out better ways to like set up different camera angles. We have the stuff, but I just haven't finished doing all this stuff here. So, oh, great question. Okay, so Zoom integration. We
canceled that. We decided it's not worth it.
Paul said it wasn't gonna. Yeah, people didn't want that, so we just crossed that off the list. No, just kidding. The Zoom integration is in production. Hopefully most of you saw, Ken and Glenn did a test run of it maybe 2 Q&As ago. And it does work. There were still some glitches at that point that they were working through. The next step and what they're working on right now is getting it ready to submit into Zoom for Zoom approval. So right now it only works in our own account. So we have to get it approved by Zoom. And huge thanks to Zoom and to Andy, who's been helping us out with all of that, which is great. So as soon as it gets approved by Zoom, then it will go into alpha testing and then beta testing here at Ecamm. So make sure that you're in the beta testing group. Ecamm.com/beta will get you all the information on how to join that. But it is coming soon, and believe me, we will make a giant deal of it. So unless you're under a rock, you will for sure hear about it. It's not hidden. It's a secret on when exactly, because we never commit to specific dates because we can never hit dates we commit to. So, what the times are for the sessions? This is a great question, Mark. So. Leap is, I have a very hard time because we have so many incredible people that want to speak at Leap, and we have so many awesome sessions. So they are very long days. There's 3 days. They are jam-packed days. They
9 hours.
Yeah, they run from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. Eastern, with a few breaks, but in general, a pretty action-packed days. Which is why it is free if you're attending live and you're putting in the time with us, with Paul and I all day, every day for 3 days. Absolutely free. Come and experience it. If you are on a different time zone, or that's just way too busy because you have a full-time job or you have other stuff to do, the replay pass is very reasonable. It is $45 US. That includes the guidebook, which is a full digital resource with all of the notes and additional information and freebies and helpful stuff. So that gives you access to our replay portal, which actually doesn't just have replays from this year's event, but all of our events, which started in 2020. So it's something like 250 hours of video content. So you will, even if you are in a different time zone or you can't make this one, that $45 gets you a long way, gets you tons and tons of stuff and access to into the Discord group. So you'll be able to ask questions and, engage with other people. But, oh yeah. Yeah, this is actually really good. This is a good question, Matt, I feel like Marshall would do a really fantastic job. This is not something that I could ever do because I am the queen of making all the design mistakes. But
maybe that's the video that Marshall needs to do is what not to do.
Yeah, what not to do, design mistakes. I love that idea. All right, I'm jotting that one down. That's a great one. He's George is saving up for Creator Camp. Yeah, absolutely. It's we'll try to make sure that it's affordable for
You
everyone.
you have 209 days till you have to be in Boston or in Amesbury. So
Yeah, you've got it. You've got it. We believe in you. Stickers. All right. I need a new. I know. I do, Luis. I need a new desk for the office. I bought this round table, and the original intention of the round table that you can't see, but is under my computer, was because I was like, oh, initially we were going to set up like a round table style with different camera angles for when Ken and Glenn do the Q&A. And I was like, oh, it could feel very like, fun and casual. But they always just end up sitting next to each other, and they want their computers in front of them. So it never really worked out. And then I was like, well, we could have it as just like a lunch table. But then we custom built this like really beautiful like conference table. So yeah, I just need to switch out this table for a different desk. You are absolutely.
what you need is people have elevating desks, that they can raise and lower. You need a platform for the studio that the whole studio shifts, so you can have that behind you, or you can push a button and it turns, and you can have the other wall behind.
I need some serious automation, like very actual automation. I love it. All right, yeah. So here's Paul dropped these in, but make sure that you're in these beta testing groups, even if you're not actively testing with us. It's just a good place to kind of see what's coming up next.
Yeah, the beta Facebook group, and there's also one over on Discord too, is a great place to find out what's coming. So it's like the whole Zoom thing. If you're in that group, you're going to know when Zoom is coming, because it's going to hit there first.
Yeah. And yeah. Mark says better get the replay pass. Yeah. So over here. Oh no, this is what happens when I mislabel. Well, oh no, I got rid of Paul. All right.
Run out the window.
I'm going to relabel this right now. I'm going to relabel this. This one's merch. And what's this one? Also merch, I think. Oh, this one's just empty. Empty. All right. Well, merch. Maybe I accidentally deleted the Leap one. That would check out. This one's Leap. This one's Leap.
There we go.
Ta-da! Yeah. So again, if you go over to leap.ecamm.com, you'll see this site. You click here to confirm your ticket. This one's free. And then if you do want the replay pass, that's down here, over here, replay pass. And then these are just some of the incredible faces. This is even just a small portion of the awesome people that are coming. And we try every year to like really find, at least have a couple of people who are newer people, or we pull people from the Ecamm community to be able to just, offer like a really great, I don't know, collection's the wrong word, collection of people, but different voices, different perspectives, like so that you really feel as though no matter what level you're at, there's something for you to learn. So, and some really cool
30 sessions.
tools this time. Yeah, 30. There's 30 sessions. There's some really neat, there's some really cool tools out there, and it's been fun for us to get to test and play with them. So, yeah, better get the replay pass. Definitely. Bobby says replay pass. All right, let me swing back over here. Martin, you gave me awesome scenes. See, there's another different viewer for my awesome scenes, and I broke everything. Well, thank you for the super chat, Maury. Actually, this is a really great question. Paul and I were just talking about this beforehand. You did not dream that. So the audio plugins are done, and I think that they just got deprioritized in testing because we were working with scenery and working on some of the Instagram stuff, but they should be coming soon. Huge shout out and thank you to our incredible intern Will, who is one of the smartest people I know, and he just like tackled that and nailed it. So it is coming soon, and it will go into beta testing first. So definitely worthwhile seeing in the beta group. Sammy, 41 days. Go to ecamm.com/camp. You can see the countdown timer, 41 more days. How to add a text box in an overlay. All right. Hey, Jefferson, how's it going? All right, let's swing over to, now I can really break it with you all watching. Let's go. I used to be very terrified of this. I'm still a little, it still makes me a little squeamish. Here we go. Of all the things I can break, here's welcome to live demo mode. All right, so we want to add a text box in an overlay. So you come over here to overlays, and you're going to go down to text box. Text box is an overlay, so hopefully I'm understanding your question correctly. But this is a text box. And there's different styles. So there's scrolling ticker. You can truncate your text box. You can shrink it to fit, or you can have a dynamic. We'll keep it like that. You can change your font. I always like the typewriter ones. I don't know why. But anyway, you can change your font. You can add a background color. You can add an effect. You can add shadows. You can add background, all that stuff. Emoji, everything in between. And then click add. And then you can manipulate it. So you can make it larger or smaller and move it wherever you want to move it. And then this little pencil will let you do a bunch of, this is the one complaint I have. Sometimes it hides under other windows, but you can do things like control text margins, borders, border width, radius, corners, like all different kinds of stuff in here, blurring, everything you want with your text. So lots of functionality there. And again, similar to Photoshop and any of the design apps, you can layer things on each other, which is how Martin is pulling off a lot of this wizardry and awesomeness here. And you can get rid of them, but it doesn't fully get rid of it unless you delete it. So I could say, oh no, shoot, I deleted that text box I wanted. I can come back over here and add it back in again or hide it. But it's all layered. So if I wanted it to be under something, I would have to drag it down so it was under the different layers that you build within the show. But that's what it looks like. Hopefully that answered your question. If not, let me know. Sometimes I miss the point. Then you have to let me know that I've missed the point. Oh, this is a great question. Hey, Richie, thanks for hanging out. I've been seeing you lately in a bunch of our streams, so shout out to you for showing up and helping out with everything. Competitors. I have a hard time with this one because Ecamm is kind of specific and different. So we have friendly. We have like frenemies. We have some frenemies. I mean, on the web-based side, I would say probably StreamYard, Riverside, Restream here and there, although we have an integration with them, but certainly some people choose Restream over Ecamm. That's probably the main ones on the web-based side. On the desktop side, OBS, which again is not super user-friendly especially if you're a Mac user. So certainly a lot of people move over from OBS, and it's open source, so there's no company or team behind them that is competing with us. So because we're competing on our own against them. vMix, which is a PC app. So again, they're kind of like the counter to Ecamm on the PC side. Trying to think what else. There's a lot of different tools out there, but I feel like Ecamm has a very specific space. We are Mac only. We are desktop and not web-based, which gives us a lot of superpowers over some of our web competitors, but also can limit a couple of the features that we're able to do compared to what they offer. That's a hard question. And then the second part was, how do we react when they release cool new features that we may not have? That's a great question. I am, because I'm on the marketing side of things, and I think Doc feels the same way probably, but we're always trying to think through what is the feature? Does it make sense for Ecamm? Does it make sense for Ecamm customers? And if it checks all those boxes, and usually you all are asking for some of the cool features we're missing, and so then it's a discussion and a conversation with Ken and Glenn on what it is, why it's important, why people are asking for it, how it works, how people want it to work in Ecamm, those kinds of things, and then it ends up getting on the very long roadmap. I don't even know if I'll call it a roadmap, the list of potential features. So,
and the other thing with Ken and Glenn too is, they're not regular streamers and all that stuff. No. So when people ask for a feature, it's like they don't necessarily always understand why you want that. And that's one of the great things with the Q&A session is you can express that and tell them that. But if you want to submit a feature request, either in the Facebook group or in Discord, you want to not only just say, oh, it'd be nice to have, this fly in and all this stuff. It's like, what's your use case? How are you going to use that?
Yeah.
So you need to kind of like spark the idea with them and show them that, oh, now that makes sense. They've done that with quite a few things. People have asked for stuff and they just didn't understand why anybody would want that
Yeah.
feature. And then
Yeah.
once it was explained, it was like, oh, that's a great idea. I see the reason behind it. And they created it very quickly. So
Yeah. And
keep that in mind.
unlike Doc and I and Paul and even a lot of you, Ken and Glenn also do not use any of the other competitive apps. I mean, other than other than Zoom, which is probably the closest and not even a competitor, but the closest app, they're not actively in any of those tools and intentionally don't, so that they're not, taking ideas without meaning to or any of that. So
Yep.
they just don't know some of the features that you're asking for that exist in other apps. So it's a great question. It's hard to know, you don't want the tool to get too cumbersome and to kind of have all these like very specific feature requests or features in them that make it just a little bit too crazy. So
And
really good
number, as
question.
Doc kind of mentioned, numbers count. I mean, sometimes people, they're not going to put a feature in Ecamm that's only going to serve one person. It's a very niche idea, and it's only going to, you know,
Or confuse everyone
serve
else,
a
right?
couple.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, it's this constant balancing act. And then the other thing too is the more features that get into Ecamm, it starts changing the mix of which machines is it going to work on. Are Intel's still going to be able to be supported? That's why with interview, Intel Max can only do four interview guests because it can't handle trying to put 10 guests on the screen.
Yeah.
So they're having to do this balancing act of, do we have to start like saying these older versions of Mac OS are no longer going to be supported? You're going to see that slip over time, but they try to prevent that as much as possible. But and the program starts getting bigger and bulkier, which
Yeah.
also then starts to hamper people that don't have a whole lot of memory on their computers. So it's a fine balancing act that they have to go through when they add stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. All right. Tommy's asking, I assume, about Creator Camp. So where to fly into. So Amesbury is about 45 minutes to an hour north of Boston. So most people will fly into Boston Logan because it has the most amount of flight options and it's probably the cheapest, but it is a bit of a trek to get out here. Manchester is actually about the same distance, the Manchester Regional Airport. It is much smaller. You just have less options. And, typically you're not getting many direct flights into Manchester. Providence is a trek. So Providence, Rhode Island is probably about 2 to 2.5 hours from here. So your best bet is it would be either Manchester or Boston. I don't remember whether or not Southwest flies into Manchester, but an easy Google search there. And we are working to try to see how we can best kind of facilitate getting people out here. Last year, there are a couple different options. You could certainly rent a car. You could certainly do ride sharing. Both Uber and Lyft connect into to both of those airports. And then from Boston Logan, there's a couple different bus services that will take you just about to Amesbury, so the town next door. So there's some options there. But yay, Sammy will be hanging out. All right, Sammy, holding you to it.
Fun.
Loving the new Leap logo. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Marshall does a great job with that. Shane. Oh, I love it. I need to rewatch The Office. That was the best. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, Martin, I know I'm not doing a great job of demoing your amazing things because I'm pushing buttons and forever being like, whoops, there goes Paul. This is a great question, Shane. So Shane asks if it's possible to have a video call to resolve an issue. Yeah, so I will say, so it depends. So we're a pretty small team, as many of you know. There's only 9 of us total. That includes Ken and Glenn, and the marketing team and the customer support team. So we don't tend to get on a video call unless it's needed. And our support team works on a triaging system. So when you submit a ticket, the first kind of line of attack will diagnose what it is that you're asking, if it's solvable, and if it's an easy answer, they will answer you quickly as possible. If more information is required, then it gets kind of moved up and into the hands of the right people. So we have kind of customer support people, and then we have technical support people, and then we have Ken and Glenn. So yes, if it's just that you're like, you need some like one-on-one time to be able to diagnose something or get additional help, Doc does do one-on-one time, depending. So you could certainly reach out to us, marketing@ecamm.com, and we can connect you in with Doc. And then people like Martin and Neil, who's in the chat, Daniel, Rabbi David. There's a whole bunch of people within the Ecamm community that if you say that, like if you just say, hey, I want to get in a video call with someone, they'll drop their link to snag time with them. Yep. Some are paid consultation time. Some have like a free half an hour, free first 15 minutes or things like that. So it depends on exactly what you're looking for, Shane, but a lot of that is possible. And the reason why we don't do, phone support or video support generally on Ecamm is just that we're a really small team and we have a very specific process to basically not waste your time or our time unless it's needed. So, but as Doc said, what's the issue? How can we help? Sammy, no. So you can do audio plugins, but it is not yet available. So it's coming soon, coming very, very soon. Oh yeah. So if you're having issues with virtual camera, virtual microphone, I would definitely reach out to support. Be as clear with your issue as possible and include a video if you're able to. And then, if you're able to just hang in there, they should be able to triage and get you over to technical support that can help you get that issue solved. Ecamm breaking hours with Katie. Yeah, I'm not the right person. I'm marketing, not customer support. I cannot help you with any of that stuff.
One of the other things to keep in mind when you call support, you may be a very intelligent person. You may be very computer savvy, network savvy. They don't know that. They know nothing about you. So they're going to ask you some questions and they're going to walk you through a process to make sure that you've done things. And you may have done those things. Don't get frustrated. Don't get aggravated. They just want to make sure that you've checked all the boxes correctly before they take you on to the next step, because they may have you try something and it could cause problems because there was something simple that you didn't do previously. Yeah. So, just go along for the ride and, answer their questions and things like that. And when you have a problem, just don't say Ecamm's not working.
They're trying to diagnose and get you into the right, get you over to the right person to solve the problem or get you to the right, the right thing or tool or step to solve the problem. So Ecamm's not working.
The more detailed you can be, the quicker you're going to be able to get help. Otherwise, you're going to spend a lot of time going like, what's wrong? It's going to be a back and forth. So
Paul's got the great questions today. What apps, programs use to design Ecamm layouts? So on our end, so we work with designer Marshall Fox, who designs a lot of stuff for us, both within video and just in general for website and marketing and promotion, etc. And I think he uses Affinity. That's like one of his favorite tools. But certainly, and Martin can shout out in the comments what he's using. I think Martin uses a lot of just built into Ecamm, which is similar to what Anna and Fulgens are doing. But if you're looking for design tools, we actually just did an entire workshop last week on Adobe Express, there is a free level and then there's a paid level. But if you have the Adobe suite, you actually have Express already. Adobe Cloud, you have Express already. So that's a really great one. And everything, actually, I think I can say everything that you create in Express can just be drag and dropped into Ecamm and manipulated to look however you want it to look. Canva is another one that is really popular with people. But I mean, honestly, you could design in Keynote or PowerPoint and be able to, you can really drag in just about whatever you want. So lots of different ways and places to design, either natively within Ecamm as well as any of the other tools outside. So great question. We're only competing with ourselves. Hey, creative amplifiers. Very true. We're just trying to get better. We're getting 1% better, as we keep saying. Oh man, I love the great comments back and forth. All right, so this is a great question from Tommy. Ecamm now exports Reels to Scenery and to Script. Was Final Cut Pro ever considered as a target export app? That's a great question. Doc was working with the team from Final Cut Pro, we just haven't quite got there yet. So some of it, obviously, some of it is how well the applications work together. Some of it is need and asks from you all, from the Ecamm fam, and some of it is just relationships that we have. So Final Cut Pro is just a little bit harder for a company of our size to build a relationship with than Descript and Scenery and a couple of these other tools. So certainly, I mean, the cool thing about this is, and this makes me probably look a little bit bad or make Ecamm look a little bit bad, but I'm going to say it anyway, is that you don't actually need the integration to use any of these tools. Like the integration with Scenery and Descript, and even a potential future integration with something like Final Cut Pro, all that's doing is making the handoff of your video files easier or more automatic or automated. But you can take your files from Ecamm into every single editing and AI based video editing tool and be able to do whatever you want. The integration is really just making that process easier and helping kind of for you to stay organized, but it's not doing anything past that. It's still just a file sharing your file from wherever you have it over to those tools. So you could certainly do it that way as well. But yeah, that's a good question, because Final Cut Pro is definitely a great piece of software. So yep, Victor says that he flew into Boston and grabbed an Uber. Yep, you can absolutely do that for camp. Again, ecamm.com/camp, 41 days until tickets go on. And those dates are final. So camp this year is October 15 through 18. So block off your calendar if you're a planner and you want to make sure that you get there. All right. And Sammy says, thank you for the super chat. I'll be shooting a short film when Creator Camp is happening. I'll not be shooting a short film when Creator Camp is happening. Yeah, what were we even thinking? Jeez, Sammy, come on.
The other thing about camp is it's not really necessary to have a car once you get here, unless you want to do a lot of traveling around and going to see stuff. Transportation is included. We'll get you from the hotel to where you need to be.
Yep.
And like we said, food. Amesbury is not a massive city. It's once you get into downtown Amesbury, everything is walkable.
Yeah, you're set.
Your longest trip is going to be between the hotel and Amesbury. So you don't really need a car unless there's other things that you want to do. We'll keep you privately busy. Plus, you want to talk with lots of people. That's the other great thing is in the evenings and stuff like that. Meeting up with people and prior to Creator Camp last year, I had met in real life 2 people in the Ecamm world. When I left Creator Camp, I had met over 120 people. It was kind of fun.
It's pretty exciting. It's absolutely exciting. Oh, Pete, I'm sorry that you're having issues. Yeah, definitely pass that along as detailed as possible. If you haven't already opened the support ticket, get in touch with our support team, because sometimes it's something that you're doing, sometimes it's something that your guest is doing, and sometimes it's just a bug or an issue that's happening in Ecamm. So letting the support team know, in addition to helping you out, also helps us out, because there might be something wrong that we need to fix. So we really appreciate when people reach out. So thanks for your patience and thanks for getting in touch. You can also certainly post things into the into both either the community, so ecamm.tv/community, or the beta group, the Discord, ecamm.tv/Discord. But caveat is that those communities are incredibly wonderful and they are filled with some of the smartest, best people that I know. They do not work for Ecamm. So you could post that question up there and you could get 150 responses. You could get no responses. The 150 responses may be helpful and solve the problem. They may take you on a tangent filled after they are people's opinions. They are people doing their best to help you, but it is not official, and it's also not going to help us solve any issues that might be happening with the app. So we watch that space really carefully, but just remember that that's crowdsourcing your answer versus going directly to the source. So, hi to Karen. Wait, I don't have a soothing voice? What's going on? So Shane, if you want to schedule time with Doc, he's in the chat right now, so you can just ask him. He may send you a note and connect with you. If you want to get in touch with the support team. Oh, I'm hoping these are labeled correctly. Whoop. I keep blocking Paul. You need to go support.ecamm.com, and then you just click this little, or you can just go ecamm.com as well. It's on all of our pages, but this little orange icon in the bottom, ooh, it's scary, right next to the finish button, will pop up, and then you send us a message. So this is not, there are some like support articles and some level of AI, but these, see, I'm even in here, even though I'm not on support. See, I'm ready to take your call, But this is where you can get help and leave us a message, and we do answer as quickly as we can. So that's the space and the place to reach out to. This one, we're back again. All right. Yep. Find out about Creator Camp /camp. I'm loving all the questions today, everyone. Thanks so much for bringing the fire. Yep. You can also email supportdesk@ecamm.com. That'll also get you into the system. Same response time. You're not like whatever works best for you. You can also go into Ecamm. Like if you're in the app itself, at the very top, there is a help menu, and you can contact support. Just click on help and then hit contact support.
Yep.
Sammy says, yeah, you can take the train. There's a train that goes into Boston, and then there's a train from Boston to Newburyport, which is right next door to Amesbury. So we can come and grab you from there. No, Paul. The short answer is no on this one. Other Paul would love for us to do it in San Francisco.
That would be really nice.
Yeah, it would be. We might do like meetups and events in San Francisco, but Creator Camp is intentionally in Amesbury because this is where our like home base is and our office, and it just allows us to like kind of welcome everyone into our home and our space. So that's
I think
part of it.
One of the big, I mean, there were lots, but one of the big things about Creator Camp was the fact that we were in the middle of Ecamm, where Ecamm is the office, the studio that you see in all the streams when Katie or the twins are on and all that stuff. It's, you felt like you were home and in where things are happening and stuff like that. And Amesbury is an incredible little town. I mean, the people are friendly. The coffee shops are fantastic.
There's a lot of coffee shops. You can see why we're obsessed.
It's a fun area. It's gorgeous, and photo opportunities. Oh my gosh, all over the place.
It is really fun. Richie says there is a town called Salisbury that's right next to Amesbury. There's also a Salisbury beach, so we could be. October's maybe not perfect beach weather, but there is definitely a Salisbury beach. I love this. Ecamm is like making you look awesome. That's the goal, making you look awesome. I know, Mark. I am actually planning and hoping to be in the Netherlands next April. So a year from April 2025. So we'll talk. But that's just for me for fun. That's not a work related thing. Same answer. We'd love to get it all over, but we love Ecamm HQ. We love to just welcome people into our...
Yep.
Oh my goodness, I love this. Congratulations. You did the live stream for the red carpet this weekend for the NAACP Image Awards. That's super exciting. Congratulations.
Great. I hope you have an affiliate link.
Yeah. Make sure you're signed up for affiliates.ecamm.com. Get signed up because that would be absolutely amazing. That's awesome. I'm loving all the enthusiasm. Are there any statues of Confederate generals in Amesbury? No. Amesbury is here in New England. So there's no love for the Confederates here in this part of the country. Yeah, we're in the north. We're safe space from Confederate generals. Unless you're a fan of Confederate generals, in which case you'll be sad over here. I'm actually in Concord and Lexington, Massachusetts. Every April, we have what's called Patriots Day. And we do not modern definition of patriot, old-timey definition of patriot. But they do an entire reenactment of the Revolutionary War with like muskets and homemade costumes, and they do a like really incredible, amazing job. They also, for some reason around here, I don't know if this is like a US thing or if this is just a New England thing, but every single parade that we do around here always has like what's the word? Like military people with muskets, and they fire the muskets off at like every parade. I was like, here we go. So Revolutionary War soldiers. And yeah, it's absolutely, it's amazing. So I don't know, if you're a history geek, it's super fun. All right, Shane wants to know how many heads make up the awesome family of Ecamm at HQ. So here we go. There's Ken, Glenn, me, Midori, Meg, Tyler, Mike, Doc, Caleb. 9. Plus Paul, 10.
and Luis and
11.
Marshall.
And Marshall, 12.
As we're contractors.
Yeah, so 12 total if you count contractors. A whole family of moderators and like show hosts and all kinds of amazing people that help us, but technically only 9 internal people. So yeah, I think that would be 9 plus plus the whole way. Yeah, right? No way. I know. It really helps to have a Paul. You need to find a Paul. Shout out to Paul in the chat and Paul hanging out with us. It's very important to find a Paul. Wow, we made it all the way to the end.
Wow.
Raiders stay because it was a fumble. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Never a dull moment. Okay, well, let me go through to make sure that I've seen that. These are all wrong. Oh, okay, all right. So I'm going to swing over. Maybe this is the merch page. Yeah.
It's funny
right.
because
all right, we're there.
We pushed, office hours and hours. So it used to be an hour earlier.
Mm-hmm.
What it is, it's between 11 and 12, Pacific time. Maestro knows that he gets fed he's got an automatic feeder that goes off at noon. So he knows he's going to get fed at noon. So
Maestro's
he makes his little entrance coming. So he's now parked right there, waiting for his food to get dispensed.
We need a Maestro cam on we could just have in the corner and we can be excited for him as the food gets closer. Well, I wanted to quickly point out something on our merch site. So if you haven't seen this yet, we completely overhauled our merch site and our merch program. So a huge shout out to the team at Fourth Wall who have made this super easy for us. But merch.ecamm.com. Couple things. First is that we have coffee. We still have some coffee left, which blows my mind. It's really great. It is whole beans. Maybe some of you are just not lucky enough to have a grinder. We have to send Paul a grinder, so maybe that's part of it. But yeah, definitely grab it. We do only have a few left, so they are going, but we still have some left. So if you're missing it, it's still here. And then I thought I would just swing through.
It's in the product drawer at the bottom of the.
It's here on the video as well. Yep. And then I've been adding. So I had to take my own photos, so you have to forgive my crazy photos, but Ecamm sunglasses are back. So if you're like, yay, summer and spring is coming soon, and they're only $5. So they're really quite affordable if you're looking for some new sunglasses. Otherwise, I'm just going to wear a different pair every single day, which, I'm on board for. But if you want to grab some, they are now available, merch.ecamm.com. We're going to continue to add, bring back some of our favorites from the previous store. So keep an eye out here. And then we'll do some fun new merch drops. But if there's anything where you're like, I would really love the merch shop to have XYZ item, definitely let us know. You can reach us at marketing@ecamm.com. We'd love to add in whatever you guys suggest. But and then I think I already showed. So one more time, if you missed it at the beginning, camp is coming back, ecamm.com/camp. 41 more days until tickets go on sale. Lots of fun stuff happening, and look at all the fun we had. It was a great time.
It was a blast. It was
a great time. Yeah, even more fun stuff planning this year. So it's a good one. All right, let me swing back here. We'll take a couple more questions before we wrap. All right, yeah. See, Paul's are the best. You better call Paul. That needs to be your next shirt, Paul. You just steal that idea right from Doc and take that right to Fourth Wall. Oh, they will. We have other Pauls here. It's the best. I love it. All right. This is a good question coming in. I was asking in a Facebook group about window management apps for organizing my windows with Ecamm. Oh, actually, I don't know the answer to this one, Paul. Do you use Moom?
Moom. Yeah, I do. Moom is fantastic. Because what I have when I start up in the morning, I have ClickUp open, I have a web page open, I have Slack, I have my message thing. I have several things open, and it just moves. I have three 32-inch monitors. So when everything opens, it just moves them to the place that I want them to. And then when I open Ecamm, and I have all those different windows. If they get moved around or something like that, Moon will just move them, to the standard place. So I don't have to worry about changing my boxes around and moving stuff. I just hit a button and everything goes where it's supposed to be. It's fantastic.
All right. Well, there you go. I know Alec is a big fan of Moom as well, so I should probably get it. It's important. It's the
Yeah.
middle square in the Tic Tac board. I know this was actually a joke for a very long time with the team that we couldn't hire anyone past 9 because then we wouldn't have the perfect grid. It would just ruin the whole thing. It'd be great.
Doc is Paul Lynn.
Doc is in the middle. Excuse me. Jeez. Ecamm branded grinder. I know. Yeah, maybe that's what we need to do. Coffee grinders. All right, I'll look into it. Sammy, $5 for sunglasses. It was a slip of the hand,
Yep.
and I just left it there. So, oh my gosh, more. Oh, Tatiana, that's a good call. Actually, we did have that in the last shop, and I definitely should go back in and add more women's fit T-shirts. You've got it. You've got it. I can do that today. Smaller Ecamm logos. I see how it is, Paul. I see. No, I can add some smaller Ecamm logos. That makes sense. I like the ones where they're just like on the arm too. I don't know if you all are into that, but yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, come on, Matt, use your woodcutter to grind up those coffee beans. Oh my goodness. Oh hey, I love it. Yeah, daylight savings has got us all a little kerfuffled, so I'm glad it's helpful for some people. Oh wait, what did I miss? Oh, what's Plim? What is Plim? Mark does a +1 for that. Have you heard of that? Plim Pro? I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah, I remember it. Doc's going to kill me.
Oh, sorry. Velcro patches. That's a fun idea. We have camp patches for camp, but they're
Yes,
iron on and stickers. Go ahead.
it locks your screen in one touch, so you can get rid of things or hide stuff. Yeah,
That's a good one. Awesome. Well, we did it. We got all the way to the end of the questions, and we're right at 3 noon. Where Maestro and I are happy. We've made it all the way to the end. Well, if we didn't answer your question, don't worry about it. We are always in the community, which you can find ecamm.tv/community, in Discord, ecamm.tv/Discord. I hear Maestro's people. He's like, yes. And you can always find us in the chat of any of our shows. Or you can email us at marketing@ecamm.com. We're happy to answer any questions that come up. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're very specific about certain questions, and there's nothing worse than being like, today we're talking about this, and someone being like, what about this thing? We're very easily distracted, Ecamm fam. We can't handle the distractions.
Speaking of being distracted, I hit the wrong button, or else I've got the wrong button programmed.
Oh, see. Well, I thought it was a good reminder because it's definitely great. Thanks so much, Pete. We appreciate it. Thanks to everyone for hanging out and chatting with us. Please remember, I'm like scared to press this button because it's like the wrong one every time, but please remember to swing on over and get registered for Leap. We have some really amazing speakers coming and just some great content. So whether you join us just live and are there for free or you grab a replay pass, leap.ecamm.com. I think it's going to be a really amazing event that's coming up at the end of April. So we're about a month away. So yeah. Awesome. Paul, any final thoughts? Any final notes? What am I missing?
Nope.
No.
Just I sign up for Leap. You won't regret it. There's a ton of incredible speakers. For this, you'll learn a lot.
It's going to be an awesome time. And some of the faces you see there will also be at camp. So I'm sure lots of like sneak peeks and teases for camp at Leap. So it should be a great time all the way around. It's always a lot of fun. So I'm going to be taking copious notes because this year is all about getting organized and streamlining and really getting it up to the next level. So I think it's going to be a great time. All right. Well, on that note, we are going to jump off. We'll see you again next month for office hours. And if you have any questions, you know where to find us.
Yes.
Thanks, Paul.
Take care. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.